Welcome everyone and thank you for joining me. My name is Tandin Tlapo and today we are looking at grade 10 finance, of which is banking, loans and investment. Now we are going to be looking at the practice and the application questions. Firstly, let's have the first example, of which it says Mr. Jones realized that education is expensive. He then decided to invest a total amount of 88,653 rand 77 cents end of 2022. He was offered an interest rate of 6.6% per annum by the bank. Calculate how much he will accumulate at the end of this investment. So firstly, we need to analyze our statement and underline our keywords, of which we have already done. And we know that when we invest money, it means that we are going to accumulate interest at the end. So with the interest rate here, it says 6.6%. So now how much it's been invested? Firstly, we write what we know or given, of which is 88,653 rand 77 cents at an interest rate of 6%, of which will be 6.6 over 100. Then let's find out the total interest that will be earned on this investment. So by the end of the year, you will have accumulated 5,851 rand 14 cents. But that's now, it's only the interest. So now let us calculate the total amount that will be accumulated at the end of this investment. So we have a total. Firstly, Mr. Jones invested 88,653 rand 77 plus the interest that we have just calculated, of which is 5,851 rand 14 cents. So now by the end of this investment, Mr. Jones would have had accumulated a total amount of 94,504 rand 92 cents. Yes, so this is the total amount at the end of the investment or at the end of the year. Looking at number 2, we have a loan table that is provided to us. So we need to calculate how much will be paid back in total if the loan of 35,000 was taken over 48 months. So now we have this, of which is 48 months, a loan amount of which is 35,000, and these are the total amounts that will be paid on monthly basis. So firstly, there will be an initial fee of 1,450 that will be paid, and there's a monthly installment of which it's 900, and this 900 will be paid on monthly basis for 48 months. And we also have an admin fee that has to be paid, of which is 57 rand. For how long? Also for 48 months. So we have 1,450 and we work out our brackets. So we are going to have 900 multiplied by 48, of which it gives us 43,200 rand. So we no longer put back the brackets because on this step we are working them out. So our next part would be to multiply 57 by 48 months, of which we are going to have 1,450 rands. So in total, this person would pay 47,386, including the interests. Right, now we move on looking at number B. So it's a continuation of questions. They say here, hence calculate the interest of borrowing 35,000 over this period of 48 months. Remember, in question number A, you have calculated the total amount. So now they want us to calculate the interest. So how are we going to find the interest? So the interest will be the extra amount of money that was added on top of the loan amount, of which was 35,000. So now, having our answer in number A, we have said the total amount that will be paid back will be 47,386. So we are going to subtract our loan amount, of which it's 35,000. So we need to find the extra value that has been added on that. So having our 47,386 minus 35,000, the extra value that we get here is 12,386, meaning this, if this person opts out for a 48-month loan, he or she will pay an extra amount of 12,386 rands. Then we go to example number 3. It says here, use the bank statement for Mr. Daga to answer the questions that follow. So now we are here. On this statement, we have our details, of which are the balance brought forward, the debit, the credit, the dates of which the transactions were made, as well as the balance. We are also given the details of the account holder and the details of the service provider. So we have analyzed our document. So we move to our question. Mr. Daga owed the bank a certain amount on a particular day. Identify the amount that was owed. So we are not to calculate, but we are to identify and show or indicate from the statement the amount that was owed. Remember, we've said the value that appears to have a negative sign, it simply means that the person is now owing the bank. It means he or she have used more than what he has on his account. So now looking at this statement, we can see that there's an amount that appears to be negative. So that amount, they want us to identify it. We can say it's 29.67. So this is the amount that is owed by this person, of which is Mr. Daga. Then number B, calculate the total amount deposited into this account during this period. So deposited, it simply means we are going to be looking at the credit column. So now looking at those three values, adding them together, we have 382 rand 14 cents plus 22,695 rand 98 plus 191 rand 7 cents. So now working those three values, they will give you a total amount of 23,000. Where is it? Just work it out. 23,269 rand 19 cents. So that is the total amount that has been deposited. So it will appear on the credits. What percentage? So now they want us to calculate a percentage of the total deposited into this account was paid towards bond. So we need to go where it says bond payment. So we can see on our statement, it says here West Bank bond. So it means they have paid 5,569 rand 75. So now they want us to determine the percentage. So the percentage would be the total amount will involve the total amount deposited as well as the amount paid towards the bond. So the amount that was paid towards the bond, it's 5,569 rand 75. So remember, you place your smallest value as your numerator and your denominator can be the biggest value. You don't place the biggest value on top of the smallest value. Right, so now having that amount that was deposited, we have said the amount deposited was 23,269 rand 19 cents. So now, because they want us to determine or calculate the percentage, this fraction, this common fraction, needs to be multiplied by 100, because when we work with percentages, everything needs to add up to 100. So now this will give us a total percentage to be 23.936%. So now it will also be determined by the examiner whether he wants you to round it off to the whole number or one decimal place, 2 or 3. So if it is not mentioned, then you can write the percentage as it appears on your calculator. Then number D, calculate the prepaid water fee on the 16th of September 2022. So now we go to our prepaid fee. So we are here. So here we can see that our prepaid fee, it is not indicated on our statement, but we can see that on transactions, there was a change that happened on our bank balance. So now we need to find that fee, how much it was, so that we can also check if it is correct. We are going to work it up or work it back so that we know that our fee is correct. So looking at these transactions that we were given on our right, we are here. So now we are given 6,205 rand 48 cents. So we are going to subtract that 6,204 rand 38 cents. So the difference between these two, it will be 1,1. So 1,1, it means the fee was 1 rand 10 cents. So now remember, we have said if there's only one value after a comma, you just add a 0 so that it makes sense as we talk about money. So the fee is 1 rand 10 cents. Then number E, calculate the total of the debits on this statement. So debits, it means we are here on this part. So now we are going to calculate all of them, adding them all together and see how much was debited on this. So firstly, we have our 20 rand, 63 rand 98, 3. So it's 63 rand 98 plus 24, 2,400 plus 1,000 plus 600 plus 2,361.52 plus 500 plus 532 rand 75 plus 5,596 rand 75 cents plus 801 rand 23 cents plus 100 rand plus 3,165 rand 79 plus the prepaid fee. Remember, it was 1 rand 10 cents plus the last value there, it's 289 rand. So now we are going to add all those values together and see the total amount of the debit. Right, but before you can add and find the total amount, you can just go through your statement and check if you have added all the values correctly, because now you are working with multiple values. So now firstly, we have our 20 rand, 63 rand 98 cents, we have 2,400, we have 1,000, we have 600, 2,361 rand 52. Then we have 500, we have 532 rand 75 cents, and then we have 5,569. So now here it appears that I made a mistake here. So it was supposed to be 5,569 rand 75. Then we have 801.23 cents, we have 100, we have 3,165 rand 79, and we have that prepaid water fee of 1 rand 10 cents, and we have 289 rand. So when you add all those values together, you are going to have a debit amount of 17,405 rand. 17,405 12 cents. Sorry, 12 cents. So this is the total amount of the debits that were made on this statement. Now let us move to our next question. State why banks charge customers a banking fee on transactions. Remember, here they want you to give them their own opinion. So the reason here, it could be the banks want to make a profit. So with that profit, they'll be able to pay the employees and maintain the infrastructure of the building. So make sure whatever answer that you are giving us, it should be relevant to the given context. So now we are going to take a quick ad break. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.